So he goes over to WWE, WWF at the time. 1992 debut, signs with WWE. He becomes a voodoo witch doctor, Papa Shango. Scared the hell out of every little kid in the country at the time. Like, I don't care. He came out there with that white and black face paint and the hat, and he had the bones, and it was just scary. They ended up putting him up against every little kid's favorite wrestler at the time, the Ultimate Warrior. Okay, the bigger than life, big muscles, over the top, coming in, shaking the ropes, the whole deal, right? And then you got this guy that does voodoo. This guy that does voodoo is going to show up, and he's going to put a spell on this over-the-top character that every person in America loved at the time. The storytelling was very supernatural. The matches weren't technical classics by any means. This isn't Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, people. This is Papa Shango versus Ultimate Warrior against the Ultimate Warrior. We all know Ultimate Warrior wasn't the greatest worker in the ring already. So, Papa Shango did what he could do, in that situation. But it got over. It got over with the fans. Papa also had a match that probably would go down as maybe the best Papa Shango match. Papa had a match against Tito Santana. It gave Bear the opportunity to show the brass in WWE at the office that he could actually work. When you're working with Tito Santana, the man could go. I mean, he was a legend at the time. He's been in the business forever, and he knew what to do in the ring. And it gave Papa Shango an opportunity to showcase what he could actually do. Gave him an opportunity to show the WWE that he can be a superstar. He can be someone that they can build a program around. But, I mean, the character was a little over the top with the supernatural angle. I think we can all agree with that. Fans weren't ready for it, long term. And it just became an unintentionally comedic gimmick. Kind of an infamous moment was when Ultimate Warrior was vomiting black liquid because of Papa Shango. Fans liked it, but they just couldn't buy it for a long-term deal. So therefore, I mean, Papa Shango is memorable. He was just unsustainable for a long period of time. So that gimmick just wasn't built for the long haul. We can't forget Kama Mustafa. I mean, I've got the Kama action figure signed. He signed it as Kama. He was part of the Nation of Domination. Martial artist. He was a martial artist, an aggressive enforcer. But I mean, the stable, you think about the Nation of Domination, people forget, like, we always talk about the Four Horsemen and stuff, and we're talking about The Rock, D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, and the Godfather, Kama Mustafa. And then you also had Ron Simmons in there. Like, that's a legit stable right there. So the Kama character was about muscle. It was about being that enforcer, the martial artist. And he was the kind of the veteran presence at the time. If you look at that group, when we think about The Rock, when we think about Mark Henry, when we think about D'Lo Brown, we think about their careers as a whole, but we don't think about them being young. We don't think about them just coming into the business. We don't think about them trying to pave their career at that point. Godfather / at that point, Kama, he was the veteran. He'd been in the business since the 80s. He'd been working. This man had been working around the world. He had been in the ring with Hall of Famers. This guy knew how to conduct himself as a professional wrestler. And it's always great to have that guy in a stable when you've got young guys like a Rock or a Mark Henry that that their careers are going to be Hall of Fame-like careers. You know that they are going to have title runs. You know they're going to be the face of the company. You need to have them with someone like Kama. You need to have with someone like a Ron Simmons. Kama versus the Undertaker. SummerSlam 1995. Taker's looking for revenge against Kama because Kama stole the urn, melted it, and he turned it into a necklace, okay? Kama felt that the urn was giving Undertaker an advantage, an unfair advantage, and he wanted to level the playing field. What's fun about this is it's a full circle moment for Charles Wright, for Mr. Bear, because this is his first ever match was actually against the Undertaker when Charles was the Soul Taker, and he faced Mark Calloway in Memphis at a Mid-South event. Now, that second pay-per-view, he faced off against Shawn Michaels. Shawn did what Shawn does, which was he bumped and he sold like crazy for Kama the whole night. Kama looked like an actual enforcer during that match. You had a brawler versus a technician in this underrated mid-90s match. And it gave an opportunity for Kama once again to show what he can do in the ring. It showed that he could be this wrestler that he needed to be. He wasn't just this big, strong, barrel-chested man that's in the ring throwing people around. He could work. When you get in a ring with a guy like Shawn Michaels, when you get in a ring with a guy like The Undertaker, you are going to be asked to do things outside of the box. You're going to have to reach deep into your toolbox, and you are going to have to find something different. You're going to have to be a professional wrestler. You've got to be able to tell a story. You got to know what you're doing in that ring. These are two of the best who have ever done it. I think they realized then, this guy can work. We just got to figure out the gimmick. We got to figure out what works for him. Well, unbeknownst to them, Charles and his wife were already working that out.